Hi everyone, and welcome to the YouTube channel of Being ACCA. Here we are with another expert session. Today we have with us Vishal Jain sir. He's an expert faculty for FR and SBR. We are very honored to have you with us today, sir. And the fact that you are an Indian chartered accountant as well as you qualified all ACCA exams, just to know what all your students will go through when they appear for that exam is very inspirational from your end, that you went on that extra mile to understand what students require totally to crack the exam. We are very honored to have you here, and we cannot wait to ask you all of the questions that we have for you.
Thanks for the wonderful round of introduction, but I would like to rectify you one point here. I have not cleared all the ACC papers. I have cleared only the papers which I teach. So I am not an ACCA member, not an ACCA affiliate. So earlier I used to start teach AAA, but not I'm not no I'm not teaching. So I've cleared AAA, FR, and SBR. Though FR was exempt for me, but still I went ahead and appeared the paper voluntarily.
Yes, so from the brief conversation that we probably had a few months back, I
Yeah,
remember
right.
from that you were telling me that all of the exams that you teach your students, you have
Yeah,
appeared for them so that you understand what goes through in the minds of your
exactly.
students when they're appearing for that exam,
Right.
and you're able to exactly help them with what they need. So that is why you did that, and I really appreciate you going through that extra mile for your students. So let's get started. The first segment is where we have some questions which the audience has asked. So the first question is, what do you think about students appearing for FR as their first skill level exam?
Okay. So, as a first skill level exam, I always recommend students to start with FM. The reason why is, see, in the FM, they understand the basic concepts of finance. They understand what exactly is the present value, what exactly is the unwinding, what exactly is the finance cost. So when they come after clearing FM, from FM to FR, now they have the basics clear. Though in my classes, definitely I teach, okay, but I still, and the students will understand anyways in the FR also. But if they have the basics of this clear, then in the FR, rather than focusing on the present value thing, they will focus on the why behind every standard. And in ACCA, the best part of ACCA is it doesn't focus on the what, it focuses on the why. So now as a student also, you need to focus on the why. If you're understanding why, it is then only wherever you are going for a job, there you can do the value addition. So as a first paper, I will, in my opinion, you should go for FM, then you should go for the FR. And as a first, second paper, few tips that I give to my student for the FR is: first point, always understand why. Second point is, do not rote learn things. If you are doing it, you are not going to, might be you might score 50 and pass the exam. Yeah. That is altogether different game. But when you are going for a job, there you won't perform better. Third thing, do not use pen and paper. It is not that era where we are writing the exams with pen and paper, neither in the exam nor in the job. Right? So use Excel, use a laptop.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. That's like the greatest. Like, this is also the same thing that we also recommend students whenever somebody asks us about the FR paper. And yeah, so the next thing is that, for the students who might go for exemptions for the knowledge level in the FA paper is also included in that. And we all know that FA is a base level paper kind of for FR, since we have few topics which are extended in FR, which is one of them is consolidation. So, what do you want to recommend the students who might as well go for the exemptions of FA and then directly jump on to FR?
Okay. So for the students who are taking the exemption of FA, there is no, you can say, a bad thing in taking the exemption. Definitely, if you have given a benefit, you should avail the benefit. But you should understand, given that you have been given a benefit of not appearing in exam, you should utilize in a proper manner. Now, when you are studying FR, just thinking that, okay, I have got the exemption of FA, I will not focus on the concepts of FA. How will you understand the basic journal entries, basic financial statements? Right, so first of all, you have to understand the basics of it, because see, when you are going to the 10th floor, you have to go from the first floor, right? You cannot directly jump to the 10th floor, right? So you have to understand the basics even though the paper was exempt for you. Okay, so even though you have taken the exemption, very good, but still, when you are appearing for FR, ensure that you are studying the basics. If you are taking classes, ensure that your teacher is teaching those concepts. If you are doing a self study, that is also altogether correct. If you are doing the self study, ensure that you are studying FA.
Exactly, yeah. Very true, very true. So the next thing is that as per you, what are some of the checkpoints, check boxes that the students must tick off whenever they're preparing for their FR paper?
Okay. Check boxes, as I mentioned already, first thing is do not rote learn, focus on why, focus on ACCA practice platform, focus on all the resources given by ACCA, specifically the examiner report and the past papers. They are the wonderful resources. Basically, I always say to my students that the ACCA examiner report is a document where the examining team is trying to talk to you and you are ignoring them,
Yeah.
right? So the two main points in the examiner report is stronger candidates tend to do this thing, the weaker candidates tend to do this thing, right?
Right.
So whatever the stronger candidates are doing, adopt it. Whatever the weaker candidates are doing, just avoid it off. So always have this summary with you, ready reckoner, that this is the thing which I will avoid. One more tip which I give to my students is, from the day one of your preparation, make a separate notebook, and in that notebook make a list of all the mistakes which you are doing,
Okay.
all the mistakes, however silly the mistake might be,
Hmm.
but make a list of all the mistakes. Now what happens, see, when if in a class there are 100 students, okay, and all the 100 students are making a list of all the mistakes,
Hmm.
and all of them are using it as a
Yeah.
common pool.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
now what will happen, see, there is a limited number of mistakes that can happen in the exam.
Exactly.
Now if you are, you can say, capitalizing on the mistakes, what new mistake you will do in the exam? There is no chance for that, right? So always capitalize on the mistakes. What we focus is, I will solve Kaplan, I will solve BPP, I will solve ACCA study hub. No, my dear friend, focus on one book, solve it 10 times rather than solving 10 books one time.
Right. True.
Absolutely, sir. So this was the first segment where we talked about the questions of our audience. Now we have a few questions to ask you. So you are an Indian chartered accountant as well. So you
Correct.
know the rigor and the hard work and the number of crazy hours that go into clearing the Indian chartered accountancy. We also come across a lot of students who would DM us for guidance, and they would say that I am pursuing CA and I have been stuck for these many number of years. I'm not able to move ahead. Should I take up ACCA? So, what do you recommend these people?
Okay. So I have a principle in my life. Okay, see, I am teaching CA also. I am teaching ACCA also. So I am not in a mood of promotion. Never that to promote ACCA, promote CA. No, I am very much, you can say, neutral towards each of them. So I'll give you a very honest advice to my students also, that I divide CA students into three categories. Okay, the first set of category is, for them the CA study is going smoothly. In one or two attempts they are able to clear. So for them I will say, please focus on your CA degree. Do not think about any degree in the world.
Right.
Okay, now if you are someone, you are feeling stuck in the CA degree, okay, like you have given 4 or 5 attempts but you are not able to clear the exams, but you have a career to make, you have a life to go ahead, right? You cannot feel stuck at a one point of time. So in that case I will say that put your CA degree on hold for some time, start the ACCA degree, complete it off. Now, is ACCA easier than CA? No, but the approach is different.
Yeah.
The approach is different, and now you will understand and accept this fact that whenever you feel stuck at one point of time and you change the path, then that path becomes easier for you, right? So it's not that ACCA is easy, but the approach is different, and when you start something new, you start with a new motivation,
Yeah.
right? So and you will be able to clear the ACCA, and once you are able to clear few papers of ACCA, then there are students, and there has been one of my student only. He was not able to clear CA from the last 7 or 8 attempts. So he took my guidance. He joined ACA. He appeared FR. He appeared SBR. He cleared all the papers. Now he's appearing for CA final also, and he cleared one group as well. So basically, what happens is, that gives you a motivation, and now you can capitalize this motivation in clearing CA as well. So now, if you are clearing both the courses, that's a bonanza for you,
Right.
right? Now, the third set of students I can say is already qualified chartered accountants.
Hmm.
So now, basically, what you have to understand here is you have to understand why you want to do ACCA. So I get many calls that, sir, I have already done CA. I am working in Big Four. Now, shall I do ACCA? I just ask them why. What is the purpose? Few of them just I want to study something. If you want to study something, please don't do ACCA,
Right.
okay? Or don't do CFA or don't do any particular course. First, get your why clear behind any particular course, behind starting any particular course. Because if you don't have the why clear, know what will happen. They will start ACCA. They will say, oh, this attempt I will not appear the exam. Let's appear in June. In the June, let's appear in September.
Yeah.
So this is what we're going to. If you have the why clear, no, I want to take a job in Dubai. Yes, so for that I want to clear my ACCA. So they will have the why clear. They will complete the ACCA within the required timelines. So
Exactly.
if you want to upgrade yourself to IFRS, if you want to upgrade yourself to the analytics, so then you can should do ACCA. So you have to get your why clear and then you have to start the course.
Yeah, right, right, exactly. Second question we have for you is that we often come across students who combine FR and FM together, although we usually recommend them to go for FR and AA. But
Right.
there are some students who still want to go ahead with like FR and FM. So do you think it is a right approach? Can they go for FR and FM together?
So the first preference we always recommend, as you also mentioned, that FR goes with double A, right? But if let's suppose a student is starting the skill level paper and he's a full-time student and wants to appear two papers in one go, then he can go for FM and FR. As I told that in FM he gets the basics of finance,
Right.
which can be used in FR.
Yeah.
So he or she can definitely go for it.
Okay.
All right, sir. So the next question that I have for you is that when we are, in the process of guiding students about their queries, a lot of students also come up to us and say that, we have heard from ABC sources, or we believe that the scope of ACCA in India is very less. So, what is your take on it? Do you think the scope is less? Is it more, or is it gradually increasing? What do you think about this?
You know why this question comes up? The reason is in India, CA is from last 70 plus years, right?
Yeah.
ACCA has come in India from the last 7 to 8 years or 10 years might be the case, right? In CA, you have the very much you can say big names in CA like Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, Kumar Mangalam Bilda. Do we have the names of ACCA in India right now? We
No.
don't have. Do we have the inspiration for ACCA in India right now? No, we don't have. So you guys have to become the inspiration for them, right? So and now after 10 or 15 years, then again we will say that ACCA and CA will be at par. Okay, so definitely there will be multiple accounting courses, there will be multiple finance courses. The student who wants to appear go for a rigorous course, okay, have to go through the rigorous journey of CA. That is altogether different perspectives. Okay, they can go for CA. Who wants to go to the analytics? You can say analysis of IFRS. They can go for ACCA. So both the courses have their own benefits, have their own demerits. Okay, so none of the course is a perfect, or both the courses are perfect, I can say. But basically you have to understand that the CA has much more market in India as of now because we have the examples. In
Hmm.
ACCA in India we don't have the examples.
Right.
That's the case. Now if I am coming from a tier 2 town, okay, so in my town when I say that I teach ACCA, so they say what is ACCA.
Yeah.
Even my dad used to ask me, what is this ACCA course you are teaching? So
Hmm.
none of my relatives even understand that, but understand. So when I am teaching, now all my relatives at least got to know that this is ACCA. So
Right.
with time, this shift will happen, and
Exactly.
once this shift happens, definitely it will happen.
Yes, truly. Even when we started our course, nobody in our family, friends, nobody knew about ACCA. We did not know about this course,
Right.
and we got to know it by somebody. And now, when we talk about it, some people still doesn't know about this course, but I think it is increasing gradually. Yeah,
Right.
right.
Yeah,
It will
even
take
like,
some time, but it will definitely increase.
Yeah.
yeah, even, my grandfather is a chartered accountant, Indian CA, and it was so difficult for me to convince him that earlier I had also decided to pursue CA. But then I found out about ACCA, how it's probably, going to be a faster way towards getting a chartered accountancy degree. So it was very difficult for me to convince him because he comes from this Indian CA background, and to tell him that this is this course and it's equivalent, it's a chartered accountancy course, it was also difficult for me to convince him, but I did, and I'm glad that I did.
No, no, definitely, and you guys are doing wonderful job.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Like I have one thing to add here. So one of my student scored a global rank in SBR. So now after scoring a global rank, she messaged me, "Sir, how many students appear in SBR? Can you please tell me? Because my dad is asking, is it only three students appearing in SBR?" That is so so basically there is a lack of awareness.
Right.
So which you guys are doing it wonderfully. So definitely in the times to come, we'll see ACCA being coming as a parallel to CA and other accounting
Definitely.
courses.
Yes, definitely, definitely. So let's move on to our last segment. That is a fun segment, not very serious that we just discussed. So let's begin. The first thing that we want to ask you is that you are an expert faculty for FR and SBR, and then you are constantly making content on social media. So what else? What are your hobbies, and what else do you do apart from teaching and making content? Like, what do you like?
So I definitely like traveling, but I am unable to do the traveling. So basically, what happens here is definitely taking it to the serious mode is when the ACCA batch gets over,
Yeah.
CA batch continues. When the CA batch gets over, ACCA batch continues. So I'm in the continuous shift of it.
Yeah.
So definitely that is there. So, but my hobby, if you ask me, I like traveling a lot.
Okay. So the next thing is that do you want to suggest like one quick hack for all the students who are pursuing CA or might as well be ACCA, so that they can also manage their social life while studying?
Make a distinction. Like definitely see. Earlier I used to take 7 days class a week. Okay, so now what I have done is come what come may Sunday after 2 p.m. I will not take any class. I will not attend any queries. I will not do any work, whatever is the thing. So now the last week itself I did the same. So I had that urge. Let's go and make a schedule. Let's go and resolve the queries. So basically my studio room is just beside my home itself. So I was like, let's go and do this thing. But I like no, I won't. I purposely I opened the Netflix, I opened the web series, and I started watching it off. No, I won't definitely. So basically, you have to make a distinction that you have to make a routine. You have to be disciplined.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I was doing CA, I had this in my mind that half an hour I will devote to myself, come what come may. And that if let's suppose if you are wasting your time also on social media or you are going out with your friends, that should be a part of your plan. That's
Okay.
the only thing.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, if you want to waste your time, it's cool, there is no bad in that, but it should be a part of your plan.
Right. So now,
Basically, you should be accounting for all of the things that you are doing. Even if you're having fun, make a note of that. Even if you're studying, make a note of that. Whatever you're doing, enjoy both of the things. Enjoy studying and enjoying, having fun also.
Yes,
So, yeah,
both are
totally.
required. If you don't have fun, you won't be able to study.
Yeah.
You will be constipated.
Yes.
right. So lastly, we have few this or that questions, and you can be as quick as you can be. So let's begin. The first thing is teaching or studying,
Teaching.
content creation or teaching,
Teaching.
ACC Study Hub or traditional Kaplan and BPP kits. Hmm.
Depends.
Okay. Taking online classes or taking offline batches.
Offline matches.
Okay.
Though I'm
Taking
taking online, but I always prefer offline.
that's more interactive, I believe.
Right.
Right. Taking offline classes or marking answer scripts.
Offline classes.
Okay. Lastly, ACCA, like this will be the most difficult one for you. ACCA or it's CA, Indian Chartered Accountant.
Not able to answer.
Okay, so lastly, we have any favorite Bollywood movie that you really like?
Any favorite?
Bollywood movie.
Favorite Bollywood movie? Yes, Guru.
Okay.
So at least I think I have watched it around 10 or 20 plus times. Whenever
Okay.
I feel low, that is the go-to movie for me.
Great, great.
In my studio room also, I have written a quote of that. क्या अपना सपना पूरा हुआ? हाँ, तो क्या रुक जाए? नहीं, तो देखें और एक और सपना.
Right,
In
right.
my studio room also, I have fixed up that quote. So Guru is the movie that is the go-to movie for me.
That's very inspirational, sir.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So with this, we come to an end to this expert session. We hope that the students who watched this would, gain value and would probably be, sorted with a few queries which they commonly have. So we tried to ask the common questions to Sir, and Sir has given, the to the point answers right on the spot. That this is what you should be doing, giving us categories of people also to give you an understanding where you fall. So thank you so much, Sir, for taking out time and doing this with
Thank you
us.
for inviting me.
We are very grateful for this.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much, sir.